All right, y'all. I don't really know where to begin with this one. I've had a very interesting day. I went first off to the clinic to get tested because something happened recently where I feel like I don't know. I wouldn't say I was taken advantage of, but I definitely would define the encounter as non-consensual. Trigger warning. I definitely don't consider it rape. And like, just a long story short on that, this is like the second time this has happened to me where I like went out with a friend, and we went out drinking, like took an Uber out to the bar kind of thing, and then like took an Uber back to their place kind of thing. And I just assumed that we can like, that I, in moments where I'm like overly intoxicated, I can just like spend the night there and it like not be an issue. And of course it's not an issue, but like, in the two experiences where it's happened, the only memory that I have is like waking up with somebody on top of me and inside of me actually. And then like just next thing I know, I'm up, so it's like, how do I say this? It's fine because like on a different occasion I wouldn't mind hooking up with each of those people. I think I just would not want to. For me, the reason why I'm trying to like formulate my thoughts as I'm like sharing them with y'all, but like I guess why it doesn't feel like rape and it's more like, just to me non-consensual is because I'd rather have sex with that person either completely sober, or if we're drinking we already like are showing up with the intent to hook up, so like I'm like fully prepared to hook up with somebody. And I think that's just the thing that like bothers me about it, that like, bro, like I wasn't prepared to like do any of this, like so the fact that I of course was intoxicated, and I don't remember being able to like be coherent enough to say no or to press on a no, whatever the hell, like it's a tricky situation because it is, I guess my mind is going to like say that like, oh, like it is a friend, as if like friends can't rape each other, because that's not what I'm trying to say or get at. It's just this wasn't the time or the moment for that. And like especially also because half of me is like, I would only do that with my partner. I would allow those kind of moments to exist where like, hey, if we stumbled in, to the house drunk, and like if I, am not coherent, but like, whatever, we get it on, like cool, because you're my partner and I trust. What it really comes down to, back to being at the clinic, is that I don't want to catch HIV and I don't want to catch any STDs, STIs. So like, as long as I'm safe, as long as I know that like we're both clean and I'm safe exposing my insides to you and yours to mine, then I have no problem. Like I'm very submissive in that way when it comes to sex, which I think is very unconventional also, because a lot of people, I feel like have this different perspective that like if you're in a relationship, like if you don't want to have sex, you shouldn't have sex, nor should you like get yourself into having sex. And also it comes from that idea that, like if a man wants to cheat, if a person wants to cheat, I'm gonna say if a person wants to cheat, they're gonna cheat. And for me, it's not that to like, be in opposition to those points. It's not that I'm trying to stop somebody from cheating on me, nor is it that I'm like trying to guilt trip myself into giving access to my body away that freely. It's more just that like I think that it's romantic, I think that it's hot, I think that it's something I just would like to do for somebody else. Like I may not be fully sober as we're stumbling home, I may not be in the mood, I may not be, I'm trying to think of other things. I don't want to just leave it on a cliffhanger. I may not be like have the energy for it, I may not like have the attitude for it, whatever, but if you're willing to accept me in those moments as I am, and I'm not gonna like put on a show for you, it's not gonna be like, okay, like you want to have sex and I don't, so I'm gonna like, get up and like do some jumping jacks to get my energy going. It's like, no, if you want to fuck, then you, baby boy, get back there. Like it's like, okay, you do all the work, I'm not going to do shit. I'm going to sit here like a fucking doll and let you use and abuse, baby girl, because I think that that's, you know, there's something also hot about that. Consensual non-consent, or consensual non-consent. But so then, yeah, like just it happening with friends of mine, whether they're a nice person or not doesn't matter. It's just we need to respect, not being in a relationship. I think we should respect those boundaries of like, okay, let's not have sex unless we like agree that we're meeting up for this reason. Even if it was like, you know, like, hey, let's like, you know, go out to the club and then after like do something back at the place. Like all of that is fine. It's about the intent. It's about why did I show up, and I need to know so that I can again prep for that. I'm not a woman, which is like, I feel like kind of interesting because like crazy interesting because I don't have any like lesions down there. I don't have any like tears, any cuts, any bumps, any bruises, any hemorrhoids. I feel like even drunk me knew to like just submit to like whatever the hell is going on. I think that my dick, I remember it also being hard, but I still was not comfortable still having sex. Like I no, like that's not, I didn't feel comfortable, as in like I wasn't like prepared for that. It's not even just like I need to clean out or something. I don't really clean out and prep for sex like that anymore. I just, you know, eat. I control it through my diet, and it's more so externally. Like I would have wanted to like wash up, not even, I'll take a bird bath, it's fine, but like, you know, I want to wash up and freshen up. Like it would make me feel more confident while anything is going down. So I just don't like that moment was stolen from me. That's really all that I care about, hygiene and like being safe. So like, you know, that's what I'm more so upset about than like somebody like, you know, using my body or something or whatever. But so that's pretty much the long story short on that. Love that we ended on the spiritual awakening for it, because I was having a conversation with the nurse practitioner who was a gay older man, and then the the community, what did they call her? I literally had it earlier in my mind, and then I lost it. I don't remember what her title was, but like it was like community, oh man, I don't know. I think she was just essentially, it kind of felt like she was essentially a third person in the room to make sure no, like, you know, anything weird or crazy happens, and also to like make sure that like I'm educated on like, you know, prep, and like what it's gonna do to my body. That's kind of like what his role was, but like her kind of like supporting him and doing that, and like just making sure that he's doing that, if that makes sense. I forgot what her title was though. Yeah, but it was in the family. It's a sister to social work, what they both do. So that's why we were connecting a lot. I was in there for 2.5 hours, and a lot of it was like talking to them about just the experience being a brown person in the world right now, also a black person in the world right now, also a Latin person in the world right now, and specifically in America also, and Chicago even more, like, and just being, you know, a young person in general, and how we're at a point where like there's just a lot of divide, a lot of like binary situations happening of like two sides not really understanding each other, coexisting very well, but like still trying to figure it out. So the conversation with them was so beautiful, and then I essentially followed that up with a family barbecue at my grandparents on my dad's side, my grandparents and my eldest cousin on that side, my cousin Corey and her 2 daughters, and it was like the cutest day ever. Like we're such a little pocket of the Robledo family, and it was just a really beautiful experience to like integrate their 2 kids into that, or her 2 kids, theirs and like her and her partner, but her 2 daughters into that is so beautiful to me. I love family so much. I love my family. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of them, but like there are like levels, I would say, where like the love-hate is stronger with some more than others, and others is like more a hate-love. kind of situation where like I don't really have any issues with Corey. If I do, they're very minimal, and it's like something that I'm able to like bypass with her. It's not necessarily something I have to talk about with her yet. I think we connect in a lot of other areas, which I think is so beautiful. And she teaches me as a younger person, as a masculine, or for my masculine within me, and like also as a man, I would say a man, like to a feminine, to a strong-headed feminine that kind of leads with her masculine. She teaches me how to like follow her lead, if that makes sense. She teaches me how to like support a woman, how to support another person, how to walk a very thin line of like loving her but also loving me, being there for her, supporting her, but also not self-abandoning and not supporting my own mission here. I'm trying to be very intentional about my words, as y'all can tell. But so yes, it was a beautiful day, and now to follow that up, y'all, with me going to my friend's house for dinner, for family night dinner. Like, what was this day? Such a beautiful day, and it's hard for me because throughout that I will feel sadness. It's like my sadness is always right behind this first wall of like, wow, I'm having so much fun, I'm so glad to like be having this like generational conversation that I really have needed, that has like been too long to come around. Both of them were dropping a lot of wisdom on me. I feel like I was trying to also like partake my wisdom onto them and validate their experiences. It was so beautiful to me. And then to follow that up with like family, and the specific side of my family that I truly connect with the most, and us just have such a cute spontaneous moment together was like great. And then to follow that up with like friends and friendship, it's so beautiful to me. But again, all of this is what makes me feel emotional in the moment, which is hard because I want to live in that moment, and I don't want to be like down out in the gutter crying about like, so beautiful, guys. But I think that that's usually what people don't understand about those moments, is that I am crying because of how beautiful it is, how like necessary it was for me in this moment in time in my life and my journey. So sometimes I think people have a response where it feels like they think I'm just gonna be like crying about my life problems kind of thing, and it's like, no, like I am living in the present moment, and in this present moment I'm getting emotional because it's such a beautiful experience, and it's juxtaposition to like really harder, more challenging, more saddening experiences that I have of those like crying about losses that I've felt, that I've experienced, just kind of life moving forward and like changing and never ever going to be the same again. Like these precious moments that I'm describing to you when I'm in the present moment and I'm like fully living in it, it's like, it's scary because like my mind starts to know or starts to wander and like worry, and then like just remind itself that like everything is fleeting, like nothing is ever gonna last forever. This beautiful moment that I'm having right now is like only for right now, and it's scary, it's so saddening, it's so vulnerable, to admit that, and to like kind of have this whole 360 process of a moment and stay in the present moment. It's a really chaotic, beautiful disaster of an experience, and that's Demetrius, y'all. That's my experience. That's how I process the world. Things are really complicated to me. Things are also very simple in my mind, and it's difficult to connect to others while having their own experiences with the world, with others around them, with themselves, and it's something that is a burden, and it's heavy to hold, I will say. And I think every time I am a parent to myself, every time I feel like a dad to myself, a mom to myself, a brother, a sister, a friend, a lover, a partner, an equal, it makes me really emotional. It makes me so sad, and emotional. And it's just because of the duality of like what that really means then, for myself and for others in the world. And it's just like the kid in me is like always right behind these eyes, this like persona, this mask, this beauty, this body, and it's just witnessing the world for what it truly is, witnessing people for who they truly are. And it's so disheartening. And then to hear other people around me say, like, to hear the pep talks that they give themselves and then project onto others of like, it is what it is, that's life, there's no sense of crying about it, just get up and keep going, like who gives a fuck. It's like that makes me even more sad. That like that's what you tell yourself, that you don't sit with yourself and acknowledge the emotional roller coaster of an experience that it is and means to be alive and be a human being, and to be a child of father, of like creator of the universe, and know that about yourself and deem yourself that, you know. It's just a lot. It's a lot to always hold in my being. That's why I said that it's a burden, because it essentially really is. And I told my cousin that too, with her own two daughters. Like, I was asking her about like what's next essentially for the girls, because they're getting, one of them, the eldest, is getting to the age where she can start preschool. And like, I'm just curious, you know, always where her head is at as a parent, because I think it's cute that like parents think that like nobody can really help them or check them and keep them accountable except for other parents. And it's like, no, I think I understand the job of a parent because I parent myself. I understand where my mom, my own parent, lacks, and where she can improve. Like I think let's not dismiss other people's intellect, por favor. And that said, like I'm very much understanding what the cost is that she's paying to be a parent right now. So I very much try to see where her head is at, try to like help in any way that I can, be a checks and balances for her, and like validate her experience, or say, I don't know, Corey, of course at the end of the day do whatever you want, but like you should be concerned, you should be, I don't know, rethinking that type thing. And so even like the choice to like maybe homeschool kids right now, it's like there's gonna be so many consequences to any choices that parents make right now. They're going to like, their kids are going to be touched by the world. Like it's maybe just in human nature, since like sin and like just I can't think of a synonym to sin. Sin, just negativity exists in the world, so like kids will be touched by it, unfortunately. And it's how you prepare them for that truly matters. And your delivery, your approach is everything. But at the same time, I don't think that we should tell people what to do. To a certain extent, I think we need to figure that out. We need to have that conversation, because it's like, if you are fully aware that the choices that you're making are going to really mess up your child and potentially create a like psychopath, sociopath, murderer, I personally think that you should have the right to make that choice. However, I don't think you should have the right to not suffer the consequences of that. And if your consequences are that your child gets taken from you, or like, you know, the collective will help raise your child because you are clearly unfit, this is what we deem as unfit, then, you know, I don't know is what I'll say. Because I can also see on the other hand someone saying that like, well, I am a devil worshiper, I love Lucifer, and I also love Father, I also love Creator, I also love Universe, I also love God. And he meant for things to be this way. Like, murderers need to exist, sociopaths need to exist, because then, you know, the need for evil creates a need for good. So like, who are you to tell me to like not play my part? Like, I didn't ask for this. Again, it's a burden. Her mom taught her, and her mom taught her, and etc. So like, I think it's a nuanced conversation, and I think we should see where our values lie as a collective, and then deem a certain amount of time um as like a good time to check in and like see how the collective feels, if that mentality is still working for the majority of the group, hear what like the 1%, you know, has to say type thing. um and I'm sure 80 years would probably be a really great number, since like it seems like the human cycle really repeats every 80 years. Checking in every 80 years, which is interesting because that's abundance, or like infinity, would be a good way to like live in paradise and make sure that we don't ever suffer the sins of the past again. And I just think that that's really interesting that I just like thought about that. That's like a approach or like strategy that I have, I would say, to like solving humanity's issues. And I guess that's all that I have for y'all right now. I need to go inside and get ready for family dinner with my babes, my besties. I I'm trying to think how to summarize what this video is about. It was essentially a like day in the life of Demetrius. I got to the clinic at 10, so I woke up at like 8:30 something. Yo, I got home from doing Uber at like maybe 3 in the morning, and I was so tired I knocked out completely like immediately. And then I woke up at 8:30 something for some reason, which I was going to wake up at like 8, you know, already. In my mind I was going to get a early start on the day, and then I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna like I work at night, so I don't, you know, I'm able to sleep in if I want to. Excuse me. And I was like, that's fine, I'm just gonna like wake up at 10 and then like have like a really fast start to the day and like jet outside the door in like 15 minutes kind of thing, which I know I'm capable of. But I woke up at 8:36 for some reason, and then I was like out of bed by like for sure 9 o'clock. And then yeah, I just like literally got ready for the day. Did I shower? I did not shower, which is why I'm making a stop now before I go to dinner at my friend's place, my friend Raya's place. I'm gonna shower real quick, and then yeah, I like packed my beverages for the day, which were kombucha, and I didn't even get to drink any of them. Kombucha, coconut juice. Literally, speaking of, I'm so thirsty because I like didn't end up needing them, because like, you know, we, like I said, I had a barbecue at my cousin, my grandma's with my cousins. My cousin, I'm sorry. And so yes, it was a day in the life of Demetrius. I went to the clinic I was there by 10 o'clock. I was there for 2.5 hours, and I was able to have a family barbecue with a very select few of my family and my dad's. Oh God, that burns. Excuse me. And now I'm finishing the day out, having dinner with my friends, my family, and then after that I'm gonna do some Uber. So it's a very busy day, y'all, and I was feeling emotional. And when I feel emotional, I just get my camera out and vlog for y'all. So I really appreciate y'all listening. And the last thing I'll say is that I really do want to not talk about you know who, and focus just on myself for a while. I'm gonna try to really hold myself accountable to not saying their name or making any content related to them. I'm really trying to also hold myself accountable to not thinking about them anymore, and just kind of out of sight, out of mind. Because I'm just really upset about the situation, which makes me sad more than it makes me angry at this point. It's been like that for a while. So it's not that I'm tired of being sad, it's just that like that's like the last step that I need to get over, not being sad about this anymore, and just kind of like standing up on the issue. So I think not making content related to them, not saying their name, doing my best not to think about them, or like things that I know for sure I can control right now, and that's what I'm trying to do. And then just like allow my body to purge the sadness for this person out, so that I can just like turn a new leaf and like begin new as new, because I have a long journey ahead. I have a lot of work to do, definitely on myself, of course, and with others, and my community in the world. So I need to remember that, stay focused. I want a big life. I want to accomplish a lot. I want to have a big life, have big dreams, big ambitions, big goals, big wishes, and a big ego to support it, because I know what I'm capable of. And I just appreciate anybody out there that's listening, that's watching, that's supporting, that's falling in love with me, loving me for me, seeing me as a person, which is another binary. It's like, see me as a person, and the more you see me as a person, you'll like see me as a person. If you know what I mean. I'll give examples at a different time. But for now, that's it, y'all. Please check out my TikTok, Demetrius Robledo. I'm going to solely start posting covers only on that account right now. I think I need to just delve way deep into music. It's time. I know everything I need to know. I need to like pop these nails off and start playing my guitar again, and just start to let my experience shine through that avenue now. I'm ready. And tomorrow, Friday the 23rd, will be that turning of a new leaf for me. I'm gonna pop out, y'all. So thank you for listening again. I'll see you on the next one, boom.